Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kara and today's video is going to be part 2 of 5 free things to do in Asheville. If you missed my first video, I think I put that one out around May, April. I'll link it up here. If you didn't see it, definitely go and watch that one. Because when I filmed that before, I don't believe that the leaves were really out on the trees. It wasn't really like a summery kind of video, so I thought it would be a good idea now that it's August to film a kind of warmer weather version of that video. So here are 5 more ideas for you. Right now I am on the parkway. I'm sure you can see the little mountain view behind me. I'm going to drive up here a little bit, show you a couple of the overlooks and kind of mention some highlights. Right now I am at Haw Creek Valley Overlook, and this is also the parking area for Lunch Rock. In a minute I will turn the camera around and show you there's like a point that you can climb up and basically sit and have a better view. I actually personally haven't been up there. I definitely would recommend like hiking shoes and boots because the trail is a little bit steep. It's not long or anything, but just kind of a something to keep in mind. Also along the parkway there are a bunch of little trails. So there's a big trail, the Appalachian Trail, that runs along part of the parkway here. You can hike that. There's also one at the visitor center down a little bit closer to Asheville. That loop I want to say is like a 2-mile loop. There's a bunch of other little trails that I don't even believe have names, just kind of little parking areas next to some trailheads. So there's a lot of different things to do on the parkway: picnics, stargazing, hiking, hanging out, reading a book on a blanket. Yeah, so I'm gonna get out of the car real quick. I'll turn the camera around here. I'll show you Lunch Rock. So right there in the trees, that's that area to basically access Lunch Rock. So it does go up there, up into the trees, and then along the ridge up there. So you get a pretty good view. And the parking area is here. So some pretty flowers blooming too. I feel like in Asheville there's always something blooming, no matter what time of year. And then you have your nice mountain view this way. I'm here at the next stop, which is Lane Pinnacle Overlook. This is kind of a good in-between one between Asheville and Craggy if you don't feel like going all the way up to Craggy. Craggy Gardens is a really good spot for a little hike with a really nice sunset view. There's a little gift shop and like visitor center up there, as well as a picnic area, though I will say the picnic area itself, the one designated on the map, doesn't actually really have a view. For that I would recommend going to the visitor center or hiking up to the top, which isn't that long of a hike, but it is a beautiful drive. And as you can see behind me, I would say this is probably the first overlook coming from Asheville that's going to have the most long range view. As you saw with the last one at Haw Creek, it's kind of a shorter range view, but this one you really get some of the layered mountains, which I think is nice. So this way is due east, so you kind of have a view there and then a little bit southeast as well. So this would be a really good spot for if you want to wake up really early and come here for the sunrise. This would be good. There's not really, as you could see, a spot to picnic, but one overlook I did not stop at is Tanbark Ridge Overlook and then also Bull Creek. Both of those I believe do have a little bit of grassy area if you want to lay out a blanket and relax. Figured I'd stop super quickly here at Bull Creek Valley. This one is between the last one that I was at and the first one. So like I said earlier, I'm kind of heading back towards Asheville, and I thought it was worth mentioning that this one does have a little picnic area. It's kind of hidden away from the road. It's a little bit lower down, so you might not know about that right off the bat. Something I didn't mention about the last overlook, that one is about maybe 20-25 minutes from Asheville, and this one's maybe 5 minutes down the road, so not too far. We decided to take a minute and stop at the Tanbark Ridge Overlook, which is going to be our last stop for the Blue Ridge Parkway for today. And Ian hasn't been in the video yet, so there he is with me. So this spot is probably the best out of all the ones that I showed today for an actual picnic, because as you can see, we laid out a blanket. You are right next to the parking area, so it's not going to be the most quiet, but there is quite a bit of space here to lay out a blanket if you want to. So this is kind of our view, a little bit of the mountain, and then this way is a nice view too, and you have some pasture land down there as well. So I thought it was worth mentioning that I've only shown a tiny bit of the parkway. The area that I've driven today is kind of northeast of Asheville, heading up, like I said, towards Craggy Gardens. And you could keep going a lot further. The Blue Ridge Parkway goes into Virginia, which will take you through the Mount Mitchell area. Mount Mitchell is actually the largest mountain on the East Coast. So that's a pretty cool spot. There's a state park up there with trails and beautiful views naturally. If you go south on the parkway, southwest, it could take you all the way into Georgia, and along that route, maybe like 30 minutes outside of Asheville, there's the Pisgah Inn. There's a restaurant there that's open to the public. Sorry, there's some car noise. But Pisgah Inn, that's open to the public. There's a restaurant there and lots of little overlooks. I've found that there are more tunnels down that way too, so if you find that, you know, kind of thing cool, there are a lot more that way. Yeah, I think that's probably everything that I want to mention for the parkway. Next, we're going to head to an old, like, antique car museum that's near the Omni Grove. After that, we'll head to the UNC Botanical Gardens, and then tomorrow, this is kind of going to be a 2-day vlog. So tomorrow, we're going to show you 2 free events that go on very frequently in the Asheville area, so stay tuned for those tomorrow. But I think for now, let's head to the museum. One quick thing that I forgot to mention on the parkway is the Folk Art Center. I have filmed this once before, so I'll insert some clips here of what the inside looks like, but this is actually a free area as well. So they have lots of cool folk art naturally. They have really cool 3D topographical maps as well. It's right off the parkway near Asheville, so that is another kind of extra free thing to do. Just arrived at the Estes Wynn Antique Car Museum here in the Grove Park Village area. There are quite a few little things here. There's the Antique Car Museum, there's a little art gallery, there's also a restaurant called Elder that does have pretty good food. Personally, I feel like it's a bit overpriced, as is every restaurant in the Grove, or the Omni Grove as well. Just my personal opinion, but it's pretty inside. You know, nice atmosphere, but just overpriced, in my opinion. Do you agree?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, too expensive. To give you
$70 for a steak dinner.
Yeah, to give you an idea, we went to View 1913 or something like that, the restaurant in the the Omni Grove, and yeah, I think I had a steak. This wasn't paid for by us, it was like a company thing, but I think that my steak was like $70, and I don't even remember what you had, do you?
I didn't get the $70 dish. I wouldn't have.
Well, we weren't paying for it, so I thought,
I know.
why not?
I'd still feel bad.
I didn't feel bad. But anyway, Elder is also pretty expensive. They do like breakfast and lunch, and I don't know, it's like 15, 20, it's not even 15, it's like 20 plus dollars.
It's a little slow, but it's really good atmosphere.
Cool atmosphere.
Very
for
classy.
Sure. Nice patio area too. But anyway, this is not a tour of the Omni Grove area. Gonna head into the car museum now, which is this whole building behind me. So it's actually a decent size. It is free. I looked it up. It's open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday.
10 to 5.
10 to 5. And it is free, but they do suggest a $5 donation. So if you hear the sound in the background, that's just the Omni Grove.
That's
I don't know.
All of the Omni Grove's HVAC.
Basically, yeah. All right,
It sounds like a plane taking off.
Yeah, it does. Yep, not the most
right.
peaceful, but let's go to the
inside.
museum.
Yeah.
So here's a little bit of the village area. There's this little historic museum in front of me as well. That's the art gallery, and then down at the end is Elder. And they do have some little picnic benches and things where you can hang out and just relax. And this parking here is free. They do close the gates, I think, at sunset, so that's something to keep in mind, but it's a good little spot to hang out. This car we're looking at now was only $595. 1929. Which car is this?
Chevy.
Chevy sedan. One cylinder engine.
You need at least 2.
Yeah, I mean, if that one fails, then you're out of luck. I think this one's probably my favorite. This is the British one. It's tiny, just a 2-seater. It's cute. This is what fire trucks used to look like in 1922. Finished up inside the car museum. That was pretty cool. I had actually never been there before, but they had a good variety of cars, and ones from like 1920s all the way up into, I think, like the 60s was probably the oldest. And they had like a fire truck in there, as you saw, a British car, just a whole bunch of different types. And there is a guy in there who will answer any questions that you have. Personally, I don't know enough about cars to even know what questions to ask, but they did have little plaques around next to each car and just some info cards basically telling you what each car is about and kind of some highlights and fun facts about them, which I thought was pretty cool. That's everything here for the car museum. Now on to stop number 3, which is going to be the UNC Botanical Gardens. There's a nice little trail there. It's not super big, but it is totally free, open to the public, and going to head over there now. All right, here at the Botanical Gardens, it's unusually quiet today for a Friday, but I think it's because people are just now getting off of work, and I don't know.
Nobody's like, hey man, it's Friday afternoon, just got off work, do you want to go to the Botanical Gardens?
Hey, I've had people say that to me.
Yeah, that's you.
Guys, I guess, wouldn't say that. So anyway, parking lot is up here. Behind me, this building is a gift shop. This is one of my favorite little parts. So this trail, we'll go here in a minute, but that loops around to the other side. There's a pretty bridge over there, and then there's this bridge too. And there's a little loop here. Maybe what, like half a mile?
Yeah.
And the creek here is really pretty. Big, I think, cypress tree there. Sometimes during the year they have a little like plant sale out here. Those benches, I believe, are new. They used to have a couple, but it looks like they've added a few more, planted another tree over there. That building kind of through the trees is part of the university. Ian's already going on the trail, so I'll catch up to him here. Basically this loops up here. This part's a little bit more elevated, but certainly nothing strenuous. And then it comes back around this way. So it's a pretty little loop through the trees. Yeah, there you go, half-mile loop trail. And then it comes back down by the water. So let's go on a hike. Along the trail they do have little name tags. If you love gardening and love learning about what different plants are, they're just kind of scattered throughout the trail here. We are rounding the bend here for the trail, about to walk by the water, but I thought this was worth mentioning. There's a little flat grassy area which is really good for a picnic, and there's a cool tree back over here that I wanted to show you guys. So here's that tree that I was mentioning. It doesn't look all that interesting until you actually read this. So it talks about how it traveled all the way to space. It is particularly loud today. We came at rush hour on Friday, and this does back up to, as I'm sure you can hear, a pretty main road. So I will say there's always going to be some traffic noise, but this is more than normal. So this bridge coming up here on the right was recently added. You previously had to go all the way around and then over and back down, but this is a new addition. And there are a couple spots along the trail where you can walk down and get on the rocks and access the stream, so I'll show you one of those spots. So here's one of the access points. As you can see, the rocks are nice and flat, so really easy to lay out a blanket. I've done that a couple times and just brought a little picnic lunch. And there are actually quite a few fish in here too. Nothing too big, but a little bit. So if I were to continue this trail around, that would hook up back towards that first bridge, but we're actually gonna go this way, which goes up towards the little gift shop. And then here is ultimately the trail map, which maybe I should have showed that to you in the beginning. But that's ultimately trail map where we went. And then over here is the visitor center, or visitor center gift shop, with their little greenhouse. So that's everything for the botanical gardens, and that's going to wrap up today's portion of the video. Tomorrow night, actually, tomorrow is Saturday, we're going to be filming the last two free things to do around Asheville. One is going to be a free theater, and the other is going to be a free concert. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. Okay, it's the next day now. We are in Montford right now. We just picked up some takeout from 9 Mile. Oh, your head's cut off.
Oh, it's alright.
We just picked up takeout from 9 Mile, and we are walking now to the Montford Park Players little theater area. So it's free. You can bring in food, drinks, whatever. They do have a suggested donation because it is like a free event, and they put it on every Friday and Saturday at 7:30. Oh, there's a car coming. We love 9 Mile. There's a few locations. Obviously this isn't a free thing, but I just figured I'd throw it in this video. I got my favorite, which is the Iriites, which is like a pasta with a like dairy-free pesto kind of sauce. And then everything comes with bread and a side salad, and I love their tahini dressing. And then what did you get?
I got more fire.
What's that?
I don't know, I'd have to look it up, but it's got like zucchini and linguine and sun-dried tomatoes.
Okay, we're just, yeah, walking through the neighborhood. The parking for this is not the best. They do have a parking lot, but you have to kind of get here early to actually get that. So I will show you the theater when we get there.
Did beget you! Yeah! Be copied now to men of grosser blood and teach them how to walk! Yeah! The yeoman whose are worth your breeding, which I doubt not. There is none amongst you so mean and base, who hath not the noble luster in your eyes.
Alright, well, we are just leaving the play. We left,
V.
yeah, Henry V. We left early because we have one more free event that we want to show you guys, and that ends, I think that ends at 10, but we wanted to get there when there's still like enough going on. So there's like a music event downtown that we're headed to now. But I did just want to say that in terms of the play, that goes from May through October, and they have all different ones.
Yeah, it's part of the Wars of the Roses series.
Yeah.
So we watched Henry V, and then they have Henry VI next week.
Right.
And I don't know what comes after that.
Richard III or something. There's like all different Shakespeare plays.
I'm not familiar, but it's just really cool that they have that for free.
Mm-hmm.
And the First Lady of North Carolina was actually in the play on opening night.
Oh, she was in it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she just attended. Okay.
No, well, she was in it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's just a fun night. It's our second time doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll have to come down here more often.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, let's head downtown. Okay, we are making our way now to Pack Square. We're just about there. We're just downtown. Pack Square is right next to Pack's Tavern, and we are at an event called Shindig on the Green, which is a free music event that goes from June through August, and it's 7 to 10, totally free. You're allowed to bring your own instruments and have little jam sessions if you want. They say don't bring your pets. But yeah, should be a lot of fun. So, ready to go?
Yeah.
All right.
Now these guys hail from over in Haywood County, and they play, as you can see, it's a pretty good sized crowd here. They got a dobro and a guitar or two, and they got a banjo down there, a mandolin. They got a fan club out there. I just heard them clapping right there. Upstream Rebellion is the name of the group.
It's a big job just getting by with 9 kids and a wife. I've been a working man dang near all my life, and I'll keep on working as long as my 2 hands are fit to use. I dream a little bit that evening, sing a little bit of his working. What have you done to the old home place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave the plowing field and look for a job in town?
I also think it's worth mentioning that there's some food trucks. There's the Hop, which is some ice cream, and over there's some barbecue, like pulled pork, brisket, that sort of thing. I would recommend bringing a chair or a blanket to sit on.
There's a girl back in the mountains, I left her there so long ago, and every night I dream about her. That's why I'm on my way back home. I found to ride that train back home. I found to ride that southbound train back home.
Pack's Tavern is looking pretty good tonight. Okay, well, I think that pretty much does it for the evening in this video. I really enjoyed that, honestly. I feel like the musicians were really talented. When we used to live in Raleigh, we used to listen to quite a lot of bluegrass because there were a lot of like free bluegrass festivals and just like music nights.
Yeah, I grew up with it too.
And Ian grew up with it. So like I said earlier, it started at 7. We didn't get there until
8:45, I'd say.
Yeah, like 8:45, so
We caught about an hour of it.
yeah, about an hour. So it started to wind down, certainly by this time. But yeah, definitely would recommend that. They had a lot of different people playing, so there were a lot of different bands, and they would play like 2 or 3 songs and then switch out to a totally different band, which I thought was kind of cool because then you can listen to a large variety, and they'll tell you a little bit about them and like where they are locally, and just some interesting info. So anyways, I think that was really fun. I would definitely go again. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments below if you end up doing any of these free things or if you've done them yourself. I would love to hear about that. So if you like this video, definitely hit the like button down below, subscribe if you are not already, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.
Have a good night. Take care.
Bye.